What up, fam? What up, players? It's a little bit nippy out here today. Got the bundle a little bit bundled up here. And I want to just hop on real quick and just say, stop making it such a big deal. You've got things, you've got stuff you've been working on. You've got stuff you're trying to manifest, stuff that maybe you've been trying to manifest for years and years. Maybe you're working on something right now, a project. Maybe you're trying to grow your business or grow your following on TikTok or something. Or put your music out, get recognition for something, achieve some sort of success in your life. Maybe it's a relationship, whatever. You're looking for that person, that significant person. Why are they so significant? Why are they so... The thing is like, there are people now. Things are moving at such a fast pace. I remember, so there's this guy named Anthony Russo. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He's an artist. He had, a few years ago, he had a song with G-Eazy, and they had a collaboration, and it was like, TikTok wasn't around at this time. Must have been like 2018, 2017, something around there. And at the time, I remember being like so like jealous of him, not necessarily of just like people like him, people in a position where they're able to, you know, network with different people and have these opportunities to put their music out and achieve success with their music or whatever that might be. For me, this example, that is, I was like, man, if only I had the blah, 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 blah. You know what's funny? What's funny now, here in 2022, the current time that we're in, I don't hear anything about him anymore. And his music's good still. It's not like my absolute favorite, but it's like, it's not bad. It's pretty good. But you know what's really fucking funny? And I think about this too with TikTokers. Kids on TikTok. And of course, you got, like your really famous ones like Addison Rae and Charlie and Lil Huddy and those guys. But you had guys that were almost on par with them. Back when in the early phases of TikTok, when it was like, it was blowing up. Like the freshest new influencers on TikTok were appearing, and like them being, because I went to VidCon in 2018, and I remember I met Jaden Hossler, and I met Chase Hudson, Lil Huddy or whatever. And the thing is at the time, it's like, oh yeah, like these people, like I can collaborate with them and I can shoot a thing. And that's all good, well and dope. And honestly, they both make music and it's good, and I fuck with it, to be honest. But the funny thing is, there was a couple other ones that I met. I don't know, I haven't heard anything from them in the past years. People that used to be popping on TikTok. Or, better example, going back to Anthony Russo, he has a TikTok now, and he's like struggling to get people to watch his TikToks or people to listen to his music, because there's so much out here now. Things are moving at such a rapid pace. There are kids literally blowing up on TikTok in a matter of months or years or whatever. It may be years in there. To us, it might look like overnight, but they've been fucking, you know, putting out content consistently, keep refining, keep honing their skills, whatever. And it's just crazy because now you've got these people, and like I said, Spotify, editorial playlists, whatever. And it's just really funny that you could be like seemingly, this goes back to the point of this video, which is, why are you making such a big deal out of it? Why was I making such a big deal that Anthony Russo had this song and was blowing up at the time, in my mind at least, and he was in LA, so like maybe in my sphere of where I was in my bubble of reality, he was more popping than he actually was, or whatever. But why are you making it such a big deal? It's not a big deal. That's the thing, is like, to now it's not a big deal, to then it wasn't a big deal. Like, there are people, I just was watching this guy's Adam Quinn on Instagram. He's just always posting like the most flexing. He's just flexing all the time, always like just decked out in all designer shit and like posting how screenshots of him making money, and it's like, he posted a screenshot in a story just now that's like, I'm literally making 6 figures a day. And he has like all these screenshots of people sending him like $10,000, $5,000, $30,000 and stuff like that. And it's just like funny because like these people, there's so many realities out here. And not that, you know, I don't even know, like, could he be fronting? Could he be lying about that? Yeah, it's possible he's lying about that. But he has so many posts, and he posts his stuff every day, and he has like the dates of the day of, like, you know, it's March 8th on his phone or whatever, like, that it would be such a fucking hustle. And it's possible that if he's like exaggerating or embellishing this shit, but I don't know if this is like too much of a rant. Maybe this is a little bit all over the place, but it's like, why is it a big deal? It's not. It doesn't have to be a big deal. I was watching a video from the past that I did, Transurfing the Dual Mirror, back in 2017, and I was talking about how I just wasn't pulling the trigger on the stuff I wanted to do at the time, which is make music and all this stuff, because I had this like self-loathing, or like put out videos, this self-loathing of, oh, well, it should have happened for me by now, and you know, this success, this ethereal success, like whatever that is, you know, to you or to people, it's like, okay, well, yeah, you didn't achieve like this particular thing, but what is it? I mean, who's to say that you can't do? I mean, why are we putting so many limitations and so many labels on everything? Why is everything such a momentous, like monumental thing? It's not. It really isn't. It's like, so just to get a little bit into what's been going on with us, like we've been working on getting a loan. And when I say I mean like me and my father, because we have a project that we're working on. We're going to be building a building, an little apartment complex. And we've been working on getting this loan. Originally, it was supposed to be X dollars, in the millions of dollars. They lowered it down to a lower number in the millions of dollars still. But it's still millions of dollars that we're going to get as a loan. And it's like, we were kind of tripping because it was taking a while, and we were talking about it, and like, what are they doing over there at the bank? And like, just like all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, you're going to react to your environment. You're going to have days where you're like, what the hell's going on? Why isn't this working? But dude, the more that you question it, the more that you are exerting this effortful, like, oh, why isn't it happening? I want to shake reality, grab reality by the scruff and like shake it. That's just, it's not helping. It's not helping your reality. It is actually doing you a disservice to do that. Because now you're looking at the outer world again. You're focusing on the outer world. You're not putting your focus and attention back on the inner world. And the outer world, my friends, is just a distraction. We talked about this before. No matter what concept, what you want to draw this to, I use Vadim Zeland and Transurfing a lot, but it's like this world that you are creating, this outer world is the outflow from your intention, your energy, your dominant thought patterns, your dominant thought forces, your dominant beliefs and system. You have systems of beliefs that have been hardwired and ingrained into you. And because you keep going over them, it's like channels it's like water going down a path, like a river. It's very hard. Once you have a path going down, it's already got this momentum. It's very hard. You have to dig out to divert the path of the water. But it can be done. People do it all the time. People rearrange, people build dams to stop water from flowing. Water has a lot of force though. It will go where the path of least resistance is. So if you are making it such a big deal, you are making it harder for the water to travel now down to this path. You want it to go down there, but there's a bunch of sand and dirt there. You have to clear that shit out. You have to, and the way to do that is to focus on that new intention. You're on this lifeline. You're on this path. You need to focus on this if that's the way that you want to go. So, but the more that you keep looking here and saying, why is it still going this way? Why is it like this? It's so important. It's such a big deal that I can't get it to go this way. So it's still going. And now you're just looking over here again. You're looking at the reality that you don't want. You're looking at the past reflections that are presenting themselves in the mirror of reality. You need to shift your focus back onto what you want. What is it that you do want? Well, you've been posting TikToks, you've been trying to get your stuff popping and your music or your comedian shit or whatever the fuck you're working on, and it's not working, and I haven't been able to achieve the success that I want, and blah, because it's tough out here, and the world is tough, and it's hard, and it's a hard place for me, and everything that I do, I've met with resistance, and I've met with adversity in every step that I take, and you got this fucking story that's like running in the background subconsciously, and your physiological body, you are having a reaction to this, which is that your physiological sense of being is also in tune with this other path, this path that you may not necessarily want, the one that is, oh, well, I tried this, but hasn't been working. Maybe I should change path. Maybe I should give up. Well, you realize that no matter what, everybody that gives up on anything, it's not gonna fucking happen. You could give up on having a house, on having a life, and you would find a way. See, you're so used to, you have these standards of your reality that you're so used to. I'm so used to having a roof over my head. I'm so used to having enough to eat. But if I started focusing enough on lack, I would probably generate a reality where I'm like, I've gone into debt now. I don't even and I can't barely afford it enough to eat. You see what I'm saying? I mean, the more that you focus on anything, and your standards are set, so my standards for me, I'm so comfortable having enough to eat, having enough food and shelter and all the basic necessities of life, that I don't even entertain thoughts of lack. Like when it comes to that doesn't even cross my mind, because I'm prosperous, as many of you probably are as well in areas of your life. I am very fucking prosperous. As far as, honestly, I really feel as far as money goes, I have, for whatever reason, good beliefs about money. I don't know if they were installed in me. I don't know how they through my upbringing, through just randomly, because I don't remember. There was, when I was my late teens, I thought I was listening to rap and I was like, yeah, I'm making money and blah, 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 blah. But growing up as a child, I never was like so concerned with money. But for whatever reason, I just have good beliefs about money. And I feel like no matter anything that I want to do, if I want to take a trip, I want to do this, I do look at this like, how much money is this going to cost me? And I do try to save money where I can. But in general, I feel like I have an abundance of money and that I can buy like whatever I want. Now, I don't always go and buy shit, but this jacket is like a North Face jacket. I just wanted it and I bought it. And it's like $300, and I could have been like, oh, like I'm gonna get like, you know what I'm saying. It's basically, I feel comfortable enough with money that I don't make it a big deal. That's the thing. This could be a big deal for some people. I could have made it a big deal that I'm spending hundreds of dollars on a coat when I could have got something for cheaper. But to me, it just doesn't, that's the thing, is just, for whatever reason, it's not. But there are things in your life that you don't make a big deal, but you, and they're not. And because of that, they're not. But everything that you make a big deal, and for me, I feel like in my life, success or achieving this kind of success with my creative work and success in just the idea of success in general. See, to me, when I think of success, I think of like the shit that you see on social media or in movies, which is like fast cars, beautiful women, tons of money, always going on trips, like rock star lifestyle, basically. And when I've had experiences like that, I felt like, yes, this is like what I've been wanting to achieve ever since I was a kid. Ever since I was little, I've admired stuff like that. I've always thought that was cool. My parents used to have like Vanity Fair in the house, and I would read it. And I was into acting, and all these different things influenced me to be like, okay, this would be an idea for me of being successful. And that, I have made that a big deal in my life. the idea of achieving fame and fortune and that's the irony, or the interesting part is that I like, compared to a lot of people, I achieved fortune. I have fortune, like a fortune. I'm sitting on a big plot of land right now. There's a bunch of like we have like a good amount of land around this house. And like I said, we're building an apartment building, which is going to cost millions of dollars. And we're going to be able to do it. And I'm not going to go into detail about like my money and my income, but compared to a lot of people, having access to millions of dollars. I mean, being a multi-millionaire pretty much is what people would call that. Yeah, I don't have multi-millions liquid in the bank cash, but I have, including this loan that we're about to have, and then building this building, I will have multi-millions of dollars worth of assets. Personally, I will have multi-million dollars of worth of assets. And I mean, that's when people talk about their net worth and all this, I mean, I think that's what they're talking about, right? So this is not to brag. I'm not trying to get too involved in this and take this and go on this tangent too long. It's just that that's not a big deal. Like, it doesn't have to be a big deal. Whatever it is that you want to create, if it's a relationship. In the past, I've made relationships a big deal because I've always been like, oh, like I want to have this like beautiful ass girlfriend that's like fucking looks like a model. It just looks like an actress and is just like this and that. And I've actually been with girls that are like that. I've been with girls that are like that. But then I've made it be too big of a deal. I made it be like, oh man, like I really got to make this thing like work, as I haven't had success in the past, because you know it's all a story. And that's really what we're getting into, is like it is just a story that you keep telling yourself. I had, when I was in high school, didn't have the most, I had me particularly in my life, I went through some really rough times from the ages of 10 to 12. I was pulled out of school. I couldn't make friends very easily because I was gone, and my multiple family members in my family died, and I was out of the country, and I didn't have any social outlet, and I was isolated and all this stuff. But that's all just, again, it's just a story. But what ended up happening for me, got into middle school, was hard to make friends, wasn't very social. You know, that made it hard for me to make guy friends, especially I didn't talk to girls either. And this carried over into high school, and it took me a while to get out of my shell, get out of my depression of, you know, moving and all the stuff that, you know, I was holding this like negativity inside of me, and resentment probably for why did this happen, and why, you know, did my mother die, and why did, you know, just everything that had happened. It was just a very dark time. And the thing is like I finally was like, fuck this, like I'm going to make the friends that I wanted. And then I wrote down literally the friends I wrote down 3 guys in my high school that I wanted to be friends with, and I wrote down their names. And I remember this because this is the first thing of actually intention. At the time, I didn't even realize this. I had not even heard of the law of attraction or any of this stuff. I didn't hear of any of this. This was a while ago, and this stuff was not so prevalent on the internet at this time. And this was even like before The Secret, like, or around that time, like before that, any of that. I wrote their names down, and I just knew it. I just had some level of I don't know, like, but for whatever reason, I didn't make that a big deal either. It was, and it wasn't. It was a big deal because it was like, wow, this would really be amazing. But at the same time, I was just like, I'm going to figure this out. And that's what I did. And it's crazy because those 3 guys, I became best friends with those 3 guys. They became my 3 best friends. So it happened in junior year, and then by senior year, it was like we would all hang out all the time. And yeah, that was my first experience with manifesting. But it was like again, much more easier maybe for my subconscious or my mind to grasp that that could be a reality because it was within reach, right? I know those guys. I see those guys around at my high school. I had a class with a couple of them. So how am I gonna? So I'm like, okay, I could, and my brain and just everything being around them, I chose to sit next to them when I had a class. I chose to interact with them, and all of these things led up to that happening. So if you can't see the path, it's okay, but you can't make it a big deal, because the more of a big deal that you make it, the more of an impossibility it becomes. Because the bigger, more crazy of a goal that you have, if you can't see yourself realistically achieving it, or if you make it so far outside of your reality, it's just like it is outside of your reality, because that's what you believe. Now, when it comes to what we're talking about here, if it comes to, okay, I want to become an influencer, I want to become this person, I want to become, be able to make money on my own terms and be able to make money from something that I enjoy doing, that's fun doing. Well, you just got to put your head down and just work at it. But you can't be getting all caught up with every little failure that you have. Like, let's say, for example, that with those friends, with those guys in high school that I wanted to be friends with, okay, I talked to them today, but they teased me a little bit. Am I gonna go home and fucking cry about it and be like, oh, this is not gonna work? No. As a matter of fact, I am going to be like, okay, well, I'll engage in that with them in conversation. Be like, okay, well, blah blah blah. Like, what could I do to do better with this or whatever? And you could think of it the same way with this, like with being an influencer or whatever. I'm using this example because it's something that's close to home for me. Is I've always wanted to, even in college, I wanted to make my own major, which was to have my own production company. And they had this program, but I didn't find out about it until like towards the end of my time in college, about where you can make your own major. And so I went to the counselor, I went to the people and talked about it. And it was like, my major was to have my own video production company, or like all-inclusive production company. Because at the time, I was producing music, I was making music, I was also shooting video. And I was like, I want to make music videos, like, and be in my own music videos, but also be able to produce like in-house whatever I wanted to make, and basically be a production company where the people could come to me and I, fully in-house make the music, make the video, and everything they would need for their project. And it's just interesting because now we have all these platforms. We got YouTube, we got TikTok, and all this stuff, and all these people are making careers out of thin air by just doing this, by doing it and uploading it online, but doing it consistently. That's the thing, is like, there's a consistency, there is a refining the process, and that will come naturally as you keep doing it. And as you're in touch and getting feedback from your followers and your people that are supporting you. So anyways, guys, this ended up being a little bit longer of a video that I wanted to make, but the easier that you can make it for yourself and the less of a big deal that it is, and just doing the thing, the more success that you're gonna have, and the better feeling that you'll have too, because the monumental dwelling or projection of this big idea and how big of a deal it is creating an internal resistance in your body. It is creating this type of feeling, and that is making it so that you are less in tune with source energy, less in tune with your own self, with your own energy, with your own ideas. Your creative inspiration and your creative flow is being blocked by that type of energy. And so the more that you're able to just do the thing and not dwell on, because we make everything a big deal, right? It's a big deal if we fail, huge deal, biggest deal. And then also to have the success is a big deal. Oh my gosh, that for me? No, how could it be? That's so much success for me? What? It's a big deal. But we don't have to make either of those things a big deal. Just is. Just do it. Just do it, and you'll get better at it as you go. But it doesn't have to be, it's not a big deal. Being a rock star, being super famous, being fucking amazing. Look at all these people now that are famous. A lot of them are just like, it's kind of annoying actually to be famous. You're always fucking running into, people commenting on you and judging what you're doing and talking about you, talking shit about you. Yeah. So anyways, guys, like I said, longer video than I intended, but hope it was of some value, and I will see you guys next time.